Hey folks, Brian Barnagazzi here, just letting you know in advance that, fair warning, the following video may contain scenes that are not suitable for those of you who suffer from epilepsy. Please keep your settings appropriately adjusted as you bear that in mind. If you wish to continue on to watch my video. The following video. And also, please don't post any spoilers anywhere. I can't make that more clear. I don't always say this very often. But if you do, you should be warned. I know that we're like, 21, 22 videos in. I'm not really sure. All I know is that it'll be posted on the video. I try not to really worry about it, but sometimes I am on ahead of the game where I actually know where we're at, but it doesn't really matter. Today's date is Saturday, July the 15th of the year 2023, and it is 2:09 p.m. Anyway, and welcome back, folks, one and all, to Suikoden Rebranded. In the last episode, well, we got up to this point. So, hope you guys are doing well. But again, I can't stress that enough about the spoilers, because I'm not like many people out there who say no spoilers at all. I say no spoilers at all, but at the same time, I also say if you're gonna do any spoilers, please wait until we get done with the game. That's it. That's all I ask as far as spoilers go. Leave a view. Leave a few views, actually. I should say that one. Leave a subscription. Subscribe. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Especially if you like the content. And like and share everywhere. You can comment if you want to, but I don't care. You don't have to favorite the video either. I don't believe in that such nonsense. Besides that, how do you favorite a video? That's a little too much asking for anyway, and it's also too much to ask because you've been trying to have every single video. That's why I don't say it. So, I feel like that after so many videos each and every time, that it probably might be appropriate time to actually bring it up. And I'm only going to do it once. Otherwise, because I don't want to push it on anybody, but after so many videos, yeah. And I intend to return to BitChute, but I'm thinking about waiting until I get my computer back. No, it's a long ways away. But either way, I thank you guys for all the supportive views, because it does help me out. The views themselves help me out. They're all coupled together. It helps out the channel to help out the content that's being broadcasted, to be more supportive, to people know, the ones that are actually going to care. Because I know people do care. I just, by the time that I even notice it, it'd probably be too late, because I don't even want to. Even if I gave myself a view, it wouldn't exactly mean that, oh, well, I know that such and such and such actually does it, unless they actually comment on the video. And I think there used to be a way when they used to tell you, well, by the way, Mario Lopez / Windows 99.5, for example. That's not the point. Anyway, it would tell you who liked your video, and I think it also tells you who subscribed as well. But now you can't tell nothing, and going to some other website just doesn't count to me. Anyway, so the one thing I want to comment about, is the very idea of banned moves, not bands moves. That doesn't make any sense. The one thing I never understood was thumbtacks, or having tacks that actually poke you, make you bleed. Like, I don't understand the fascination with that. I don't know about you, but personally, I wouldn't want that kind of match. It's kind of hard for me to get into wrestling, but I would like. I mean, I kind of thought about it, but I thought, nah, I'll probably never get into it. But for the longest time, because when I played a game where I could custom make my own character into like a sort of referee that comes in there and does. But wrestles on his own. Because, yeah, that was an option, believe it or not, that I played. And I was like, yeah, cool. And I couldn't put in the theme song I wanted to play. But I did play, I mean, I've seen ones that I kind of sing that are pretty good. But you can also mix it up with, what is it now, with Undertaker and Kane's theme. Like, literally, I can make sparks of the ring flame up while it's got the death theme coming in there and all that. And I thought that was pretty cool. But the ultimate reason, just to make myself rebranding, or not to have my own, basically have my own deal, which you can't help but borrow from other people anyway, because I don't really have my own little theme song that I could have just played out on my own, blah, 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 that seemed to fit, other than one that I'm happening to borrow, which would have been Those Who Fight Further. That kind of thing. That would have been my theme song, my theme entrance song. Seriously, I mean, like, literally, if you think about it really, none of the wrestlers had where they had their own when they did it themselves. They actually had to use someone else as their own theme song. Triple H started out that way with another song. Then he had a couple other ones when he evolved in something else, and now he's just a nobody. And I mean in terms of being a wrestler, because he's not a wrestler anymore. It's not to say he's not a famous legend or anything like that, but he's not as a. I guess that would be one way to describe it, but it's not exactly where he's well, basically, if you were to try and request, let me put it this way, but it makes more sense. If you were to request for a match with him, it wouldn't happen. And I don't care what anybody says. It's not anything to do with some supposed injury. It's because he's retired. And he's the only one that's ever retired just because of an injury and still be on there. Because people have retired many a times in the past with injuries and stuff like that, or not retired, but they've got some help. And not to say that he hasn't been good at it and whatever, but all of a sudden out of the woodwork, well, it's just because he's got a helmet thing in his leg. Ain't got nothing to do with it. The dude could still use his arms if he wanted to. There's nothing said he can't use his arms, except he himself. I mean, that has to do with his leg. But he can still walk and move and talk. He can use his arms. If he wanted to, he could, basically punch me in the arm. Or someone else in the ring or whatever. If he so wanted to. Because, yeah, I mean, one of the things that he has, no one else even does. He has an exclusive wrestling move that a lot of exclusive moves no one else ever does or repeats for the performance of it. I don't think that it's necessarily banned, although there are some that are. Like the one that had to do with, I think his name was not Bret Hart, but the other one. And because he was on a flying swing, and what they did was they abandoned it because it was not secure enough, and he died on the ring for it. So from what I heard anyway. That I know has been banned, but like some exclusive moves that are not exactly, it's not that it's banned, it's just that no one else does it, that's all. Another thing that, if you really think about it, you know, there's Ric Flair, but there's also Sting. I think that's his name. Anyway, the guy with the white mask, and I'm not talking about Jeff Hardy. I couldn't think of his name for a moment there, but I'm not talking about him. This is a guy that's been with a baseball. I know there's plenty of them out there, but he's the only one I think that was called with Sting, if I'm not mistaken. And the reason why I bring up these two is because they both have a woo. They both kind of do the same thing. This is kind of like a howl, but he's still a woo. They all pretty much about to say the same thing. And I like how Ric Flair said, I'm the only one that real woos around here. And yet, you had... I don't think that all elves are bad. I just think that this guy right here, generally speaking, is a bad thing. Also, another thing is that we might be screwed for a little bit about armor. So this is the reason why you want to come in here to do that. Even though that we only got this. Even though that some shops only sell the basics, it also helps to unlock different things. So, anyway. Just wanted to quickly go over that real quick. And, yeah, that house right there we have to go into. There's literally nothing else here. And I don't really understand why they bring up such things that we'll never get to see. So, I mean, maybe there's like a place beyond that place. I don't know. That's within the woman thing. I still never will get because, again, I didn't get, well, even in 3, from what I remember, actually, I forgot about that. That the castle itself, there were some people, I just didn't know where they slept at. I'm not saying I need to know that's like going in their bedroom. It's because that you think that they would have at least said, well, okay, this is such and such bedroom and whatever. Because they did that for most of the game in all these games so far. And I know nothing about Suikoden 5 beyond where I've been to. And it kind of made me kind of like, why am I doing this or why am I not doing it? I didn't understand anything. Because literally I got into a match and I lost. So, I'll tell you more about it later. I think it's in this game. I don't know, but I think they kind of ended. Okay, anyway. Cookies, why did you leave me alone? I was so lonely. I didn't mean to leave you alone. Because we lucky to say you had terrible. You going off alone, you should have taken me with you. Was it fun outside? No, I mean, I didn't go out to play, you know. I didn't take you because I didn't want you in danger. Of course. Like how she was upset first. Crickets, did you do something bad? Grandpa looks really angry. So what you don't want to do is talk to the elder. Yeah. I mean, because some people in this village are very, like, they're like nice, but then they're mean. Yeah. Oh. You may not notice who that is, or who that is in the background, but, yeah. Speaking of cowards who run off, which I don't think is a coward, I think he was a brave guy to, you know, he had a lot of guts to come over and get us. I mean, you know, it took guts. Crickets, don't tell me you believe what that human woman tells you. Actually, he didn't even know that she was there, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing to indicate that, but anyway. Commander Rosman, one of the 5 great Imperial generals, is the true enemy of the Guardians of the Forest. So you want to get this done now, because if you don't, you'll miss out your opportunity. I'll show you what I mean. Akoba has switched sides and joined the Imperials. They are double-crossers. Phew! Kirkus, you smell like humans! I didn't know humans had a smell that portrayed them as humans, but anyway. So in order to get this going... Yeah... Yeah, we're gonna be doing quite a bit of leveling up, but anyway. So I'm glad I got rid of Luke. In a way, I'm not, because I wish that if I, yeah, well, I'll go more about it later in just a little bit here. Curtis, why did you leave without my permission? What did you do out there? See, it's hard to make an old man voice while doing the leprechaun voice. I'm not sure what to give the elves as a voice, to be honest with you. The humans who are fighting the Empire too, unless they get help from the Liberation Army, as they call themselves, to protect the village of the elves. See, I'm not. Some people might be more talented than me, but I think this is just as good. If you don't like that, then I don't know what the hell to tell you. I mean, you know, just because I don't come with a fully preloaded tens of thousands of billions of voices doesn't mean that I don't think it's good. Or someone wouldn't think it. Take this village? What are you talking about? We don't need human help to protect ourselves. It's true that at one point, Commander's men had the upper hand, but they're humans after all. They've been behaving themselves recently. Besides, they have been behaving themselves recently. But, shut up, Kirkus. You left the village without permission, and dared return with filthy humans. Lock them all up. Yes, sir.
What? Why? Why, Grandpa? Why are you arresting Kirkus, the Kakachimilakachachayu?
So, even though that you never see where it gets the answers. So, anyway. And here it is. Stallion. Well, if it isn't Chicken Hearted Kirkus, who turned and ran when who turned around when he found out that the Imperial Army was attacking. Hey, don't you remember me? Stallion, the fastest pair of feet in the village. Didn't you know? You should have seen how fast I ran when Clan Wanda attacked. Ha ha. Anyway.
Who the hell are you? Liberation Army comes to help the elves? I guess we're all fools.
That's an Imperial uniform.
Yep, I was a fool, too. I risked my life to betray the Empire. And look at me now. How stubborn these elves are. They refuse to believe what I know.
Like I got you like a time, say, what is it you know?
Oh, that. The man in charge of this region is the great General Commander Roseman. He has commissioned a horrible weapon to exterminate the rebellious elves.
Horrible weapon, what is it?
I'm not sure, but it's called the Burning Mirror. They say it can burn down an entire forest in an instant. Not only the elves, but the village where I was born. That's why I came. I wanted to warn the elves of this danger so they can prevent the Burning Mirror's completion.
And before you know it, you were in this prison. No crack, McLatin.
Damn it! We don't have time to waste around here. Shouldn't have trusted those elves.
Yeah, you say that, but anyway. Well, if it isn't Chicken Hearted, blah, 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 you just say the same thing. So you could go down here, but it won't do you any good. What you want to do is here. Break. Like I got it, like a top share. Who is it? Savannah?
Grandpa's dead. I shouldn't come here, but I have to ask.
Ask what? Tell me, Kirkus, why are you so hung up on humans? Humans act big, yet they are dead after only 50 years or so. My father was such little creatures. Dead after only 50 years or so? What an awful thing to say. Listen to me, Congo's like a charm cereal. Listen to me, Savannah. It is true that the humans are just like elves and dwarves. We look down on humans. The dwarves detest us, isn't it sad? After all, what's this difference between us? Why can't we get along? I just don't understand it. It's very sad.
Kirkus, I'm very sorry, Kirkus, but I don't understand what you're saying. I just can't trust humans, and dwarves scare me.
Yeah, here we go.
But I believe you. I'll do my best to believe you. I'll do my best to believe.
Savannah.
Here's the key to the cell. Do you think I end up in here be doing this?
I wouldn't think so, but what do I know about how the game logic works? Ha! I shall show you how fast I can run. Incredible!
Hercus, you run too. You can't run that fast, of course.
No, I can't run away. I have to do something about that burning mirror that Lady Valeria was talking about. There she is.
What can you do?
I have an idea, Master Killed. I'll see of this village, just the village of the dwarves. They must know something. Let's get their help. You know, here's the thing about this. It's gonna sound corny. And it's gonna be stupid and maybe foolish, because we still would have to backtrack through things. But we can actually teleport to over there. But if we did that, we still have to go through the idea of seeing something else going on. I don't think it'll let us do something until we see another cutscene, but anyway. Let's go back to the castle first. Young master, we don't have the time. The bearing mare is being pearled at this very moment. We must hurry.
Cookies, are you going to dwarf country? They say the dwarves eat out.
That's just a dusty rumor. We should get rid of the prejudices like that. Let's go, Master Kid. So basically the same thing. I agree.
Me too. If we don't hurry, there'll be a disaster. We must prevent the burning mirror from being completed.
Cookies, are you going to dwarf country? They say do have... See, same thing. Anyway, just imagine me saying it that way.
Hurry, Cookies, or I'll get in trouble.
I doubt you will, but then again, what do I know about game logic?
We don't have time to be racing around here. Shouldn't have trusted those elves.
Yeah, you say that, but anyway. So the reason why I said that is because you'll lose the opportunity to get the lines, because even though it adds to nothing, but, you know, it's the only time you have to talk to them. More about that later, because, see, look, I mean, even though that you had to talk to the grandpa to continue on the main storyline. And here we go, get to be forced to have a party member, as always. Anyway.
Take me with you, Commander Killard. I want to help protect this forest.
Valeria joins. Nice.
Cookies!
Do you want to come along? Savannah, this time you're more than welcome to join us.
I'll stay and I'll wait for you to come back. So promise me you'll return. Promise.
I promise I'll be back. I'll never make you feel sad again. Yeah, you know, it's a promise. You know, she could come as a guest, but she doesn't want to. And, of course, they kiss. You didn't see that. Thank dogs. My virgin eyes were spared from that. I hate seeing kissing between men and women. Blech! God, that makes me sick. Anyway. But again, I'll support it. Even though I guess they are a fit together, so, you know, whatever. You know, it's just not my cup of thing. You know, it doesn't make me as sick when I know that they fit together, but, you know. Again, I know that it may sound stupid and weird coming from a guy like me. But Sarah, there you go. She's supposed to be at level 27, but what do I know? So, here's the thing as well. I'm going to do that. So now, because see, Valeria is here. Let me go over to what these guys are, okay? In the formation. Yes, you have to put them in front, or otherwise they're useless. I even know that, as far as, because it makes the battle a little bit more, as I said, they would take you down more easier depending on your levels, I guess. See, that's the thing about Luke as well. Which I never, and I don't, well, now that I think about it, I don't really understand why they had to put him as an S rank. Because literally, his attack strength is atrocious. You can level it up, but the only way to truly maximize this thing, like anybody else, you have to cheat. So, yeah. So if you want to do yourself a favor, you should go back. So we're going to be doing a lot of training, let me tell you right now. So we also need to go back to get us some escape ropes, because we got to get to there because the boss is coming up. we're not unmatched for it yet. There's also someone else we could recruit if we wanted to. I was going to, like, you know, it's just testing my luck, because sometimes randomly you can get her, but I'm not really worried about her too much. So there's also a rune I should put on him, but I'm not worried about that until I do the 100% run. But you already know what that is. It's part of, you know, just getting the 180 stars of destiny. So, you know, but there's also other characters I could be doing as well, but we need like at least level 40 for most things. I know I'm kind of spoiling it, but it doesn't tell you anywhere where you actually need it. But there's a certain character you have to talk to twice in order to recruit him. And I'm not worried about it, so I'm just like I said, I'm gonna miss out on quite a bit. I should be saving as I go along, so that I don't have to, you know, go through the process of some things, because literally that wheel is it's a fun game to start over, but the problem is the minor annoyances. Like, sometimes you'll find that games can be easy enough to go through all the way from beginning to end, but then there's games that are easy from beginning, and then they have some things that are very atrociously, it should not be part of the game, or the difficulty shouldn't be that difficult about it. Especially like when you gamble in the game, if you have to, for whatever reason, to make it through. Like in 007, as far as I know, it's like optional in some games, but some games you actually have to gamble, because in order to get information, from what I understand, stupidest daggum thing I've ever seen. So what we're gonna do is we're going to do an in-game cheat, because I'm not gonna climb all the way up to that mountain. Besides, we need to go back anyway and get ourselves some escape ropes anyway, and we also need to appropriately adjust our settings. In fact, I may as well just get well, I'm just gonna go ahead and cheat anyway. I just won't know, because there are certain equipment that I'm gonna have to pick up from well, the village of guys. And there's going to be equipment that's going to be completely useless to us just coming up, so I'll try to not, I can't promise to not get it. So, what I want to do now is I'm going to go in here. And there are other shops we could have, I think. I'm not going to comment on it. Anyway, so let's get an escape talisman. Oh yes, we want that. We definitely want a few of these, and there's a reason for that. You may not understand now. Actually, I don't think you ever will understand until you actually see why we need it. And that's for the sake of training, because you know. And I don't know if she needs to be leveled up or not. Oh yeah, she needs to be leveled up. As is all of our characters, but you know. What the hell are they doing? I'll be right back. I have no idea what was going on there. It was a crazy situation. I hate to see that with anybody, but damn. Anyway, so, as I was saying, let's go ahead and withdraw. Wow. Let me just withdraw by not withdrawing. That makes total sense. Do you know that? I mean, I didn't know that. I thought I was supposed to withdraw. But, you know. Anyway, so let's see here. Yeah, we have everything in here. So the reason why I'm going to cheat is because it's just easier to do that, even though that I'm not going to keep it permanently. You can do that, just so you know. Plus it also helps me with, just so I don't have to grind for it. And I don't do this for every game. It really sucks that they got rid of the cheating. Because at least for the most part, you could take advantage of getting things done. And that, to me, just makes more sense than just hopping it around going, oh no, I gotta be overly powered just to have enough money to buy all this equipment that's gonna become useless later on by the time I find some better equipment. Or because I need it to be at least that level, and blah blah blah. You know, that's the reason why I hate this kind of junk. And then, but, you know, y'all never understand that kind of stuff. So yeah, he's already moved. Welcome, welcome. Take a look at this. Isn't it wonderful? By the way, there's something else I gotta tell you about. Speaking of advancement. Yeah, I never understood about why they said about the things they said, but anyway. So, there's something I gotta talk about here as well. Yeah, it's coming up. So, yeah. I'll be right back so we don't get in trouble here. Alright, so I went ahead, hang on, let me make sure that, so I went ahead and I cheated. Yes, I did. So there's a reason for that. Because sometimes it's just easier to do that if you just have piss poor luck. Even though I will be making use of the advantage of getting it through here as much as I can with save states and everything. But it depends on how I feel. You know, right now, I'm not worried about it as much. But it's also a good idea to take when you have a certain amount of members that can actually fight. Because, yeah, like I've already said, there's actually members that are not going to be in the list. So, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Let me see. Because they don't tell you exactly in the game how to describe so you can know the difference. But, you know, I'm just going to show you right here. Because, like right here, see that right there? It has all that right there, right? And then you go down to Matthew, which he has nothing across the board, which means you cannot select him. No. See, I don't know. There's probably a game somewhere in the Suikoden universe that probably does that, but as far as I know, these guys are the ones, you know, those are the ones that's not going to be in battle, which also means if it'll just let me get out of here. Anyway, now like I said, I mean, although with that being said, though, you couldn't select him anyway, as most games don't let you, like, do certain things anyway. But I'll go more about that later. Like, okay, say, for example, I want to get Marie in my party, even though she's an innkeeper, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eject Cleo, right? And see, most of my parties are not going to have females in them. That just depends on the game itself, specifically. I'm not kidding you. They'll have females in it, but it also depends on the game. Like Final Fantasy VII, yeah. Anyway. So I'm going to try to get, I want Marie in my party. Nope, I can't get her. You know why? Because let's go take a look in the list here. We'll stop the video here in another minute, but I'll tell you why. I mean, you know, she would be in the list anyway if she was meant to be there, but you can't select that way there. So let me think here. Marie should be in the list here somewhere, even though that we're not able to use her. See, like Vicky, I could use. Okay, I don't remember her not being not a party member, but okay. Okay, all right. Never mind then. I don't remember that at all. There it is. See, So there you go. That's why I can't have her in my party. That's why she doesn't show up. So just in case you ever wonder why you can't get them in battle, it's because they're there. But it's also, there's going to be certain times that party members will not be available to put into there. I think it's stupid because, you know what, if you just want to have them in there and because they're part of your best ultimate team you have. Well, you know, that's the way they did it. Can't argue with it. The only way to argue with it, truly, is to just to counterintuitively do it either by letting it go or go and make your own fan-made game that kind of reflects this but does it the way you want to do it. As long as you don't, you know, mess with the code of the original game, you'll be fine. Because I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to mess with it, but I can... If I could figure out how to do it all, I would copy it all so I could do it. Because I think I could be wrong about this. I know absolutely next to nothing about it, but I know that coding is part of how you get characters to be a thing. Like, say, if I want them to look exactly like this, or in a more 3D model, and have them function across the screen, it's all in the coding. But anyway, what I was going to say was copy that coding into your own pretext of what you want. I mean, you could do the same exact model, but you can't really publicize it unless you want to get in trouble. Because, you know, you can actually make characters and stuff like that as long as you claim that it's not originally yours. You just happen to, you know, that's the thing about making models and stuff. You have to be precisely at that deal that it has, you know, they're just, you know, or that the idea that you actually found out how to do it and you made it yourself. Either way, it still can't be like, yeah, it's my own design. I'm the first one that made it. I mean, yeah, you can make your own design of it. The exact same model and everything, if you get good enough, your hands will let you and everything. My hands don't let me do nothing. But anyway, so this is another thing I'm going to show you right here. If you have emulation problems, like I do, what you want to do is you want to do this, and you're going to put down quit, yes, you're going to push yes, quit, because if you say yes, resume, even if you didn't even have fast speed, even though it's probably due to the strain of the system, that how many times you put it on there, I don't know. You would think that would be a problem, but anyway, yeah, you just want to do that, and you're going to say run game, and if you're doing it like a me, I'll be right back, because that way we don't get copyrighted here. Yeah, you just want to go ahead and yeah, you'll select the desired game. Okay, I got chose there because the reason why I had to do that, because unless I go into settings, I don't want to completely turn it off, because then I have to go and turn it back on, because I like the sound, even though sometimes it does give me a headache if it repeats itself or whatever, for whatever reason, if I don't like it in general consensus. But yes, you also probably would have to constantly do this, even though it's nothing special. I mean, I can deal with it. It's a minor annoyance, but that way they can't copyright flag you. Because I put down sound quality, no sound, which means it turns off everything. So, and the good thing is they actually improved upon this. Now, I wouldn't say all games have this feature, but in Suikoden 2, they actually made it possible for you to actually turn it on and off within the game itself without actually having to go back and forth. So, I mean, it's kind of still a little bit of a minor annoyance, but it's not as bad, you know. So that way, if you're worried about copyrights, like I ain't, because I'm not, but, you know, that way, you know, they can't get you. I mean, I know that's a way to... I know they said don't talk about how to avoid it, but this is a way to avoid it. Sorry. I mean, What do you expect when people get tired of seeing copyrights? Because you want to be able to enjoy music and you want other people to be able to enjoy it, you know. And the only way to fully be able to do that is if you go to some other website and start uploading up there with full sounds and never have to turn it off, or you can share it between your friends. That's kind of silly. You know what makes it silly is that most of your friends don't care. And they don't want to hear it. They want to hear their own specific game or whatever. And so that's the thing, you know. The thing is, when you record, it's not just to share it among your friends. It's meant to share amongst an actual audience that gives a doggone, gives it two cares, two Fs, whatever you want to call it. Just so many ways to say that they just actually care enough to pay attention. You know, it's not just about, oh well, what if you have no friends? You know, or if you have no friends that actually even care, except when you actually upload it to there so that they can watch it at any time. Because another thing is you have to worry about, I don't know, space. Did I tell you about that one time that I smacked the tree and the tree just kind of smacked me back? I mean, it did nothing to me, but I just smacked it. That's it. Just bring an example. But I'm just saying, if you want to avoid copyrights, you gotta turn them off. That's how I do it. I mean, if you ever run into that problem. But that you know, that and the fact that you want to make sure that, I guess, for some reason, if it detects logos, you want to make sure you're not recording when the logo shows up. If it still does that. I'm just saying because, honestly, it's the only way to avoid, you know, and you know, it's a true thing to do. It's not like I'm trying to teach you how to absolutely do it and then just be like, oh, well, there's a way to bypass it. Yeah, the only way to, I mean, except by this. I mean, if they can still copyright you even remotely doing it without sound, then there's something wrong. What's going on? You know, somewhere, because literally you shouldn't have to put up with that kind of stuff. Literally, that's why I go somewhere else that's much like this place, but it's better. And I mean better because, well, I get views. More views than I could stand it by here because it gives me a reason to upload. I mean, I hate to teach anybody how to avoid copyrights, but how else can it be done without, I mean, even if I didn't say it, it would actually be an obvious duh. You know, like, okay, this is how you do it without me even telling you. I mean, even if I show it like this, without actually saying those words, it still would be a way to avoid copyrights. Oops. Uh-oh, I turned off the entire sound so that it can't copyright me. Because they're more concerned not about the visuals and the idea of the game itself. It's the idea that if you put sounds, or let the sounds and music play, so that everybody can truly enjoy the game, you know, even if you don't claim that it's not yours, you know, that you don't own the music to it. I own the game, but I didn't create it. I wouldn't think they would have anything to do with it. Hell, even it's the hell of it is as well, is what makes it even worse of all, is if I go and make my own sort of mix on it. Like if I make my own mixed kind of tape, for example, even though nobody does that anymore, but basically, like where I mix my own sounds together, make my own little thing for my own game, they would copyright that. That's the most stupidest thing I have ever seen in my life. And I'm not one to say, oh, I hate sounds, I hate music. I just hate the repetitiveness of it. Because after a while, I just can't take it no more. I'm sorry, I have to. That's why I have my own variety of my own music library. And it's not because, oh, yeah, they're still hating upon the song. If that was so hating upon the song, man, I wouldn't even bother with it at all when I want to play the damn game. You know? If I want to play a game and I want to hear music, then by goodness, I should be able to enjoy it without somebody going, yeah, you played our music, so, I mean, even though you're not making any money on it, now we're going to hide that video so that no one can see it. That's another bad problem about that. Because, like, if I put down, like, Those Who Fight Further, which is not even in this, like, literally, I've had that happen every time I try to do Final Fantasy VII. That's another reason why I got away from this website. You know? And I never would have even have thought about it. You know, and I mean, it did take me some time before I started getting into the role of it. Like, I don't know, it's like a few years before I started continuously recording and uploading to another website. But how I got there originally was, it was recommended to me by a YouTuber by the name of, and I'm not giving no shout outs, not a shout out, just because he recommended it to me, Return0121. No, what I keep saying me, I mean, it was recommended to people, and because it was recommended to him. And he found it there. There was another website, I guess it's down there. There was another one. I don't know what happened to that, but he said he doesn't go there. No, he hasn't uploaded in so long. So again, this isn't a shout out to him or anything like that. But I'm just saying that's how I got up there. And then there was there's actually a link on my channel here if you want to go check out some fully loaded stuff like that, so you don't have to worry about, oh my god, it's so boring without music and sound. There you go. Sorry, YouTube. But you shouldn't have such a daggone policy. I don't care. That policy should not exist. It doesn't protect the rights of the users or the people involved, because what it makes, I mean, people have said this time and time again, and they still haven't got it through their thick skull. You know? It does not do what you think it does. I can understand having a deal if someone is literally trying to get people to literally buy into the fact that it's their game when it's not. You know, or even claiming that actually claiming the whole daggum thing, or even a portion of it, is theirs. Like they created it. No. I mean, like, the video is one thing for them to claim because they created the video. I mean, you know. And like I said before, I wouldn't do this for money even if I was getting money for it. Which I'm not. You know. So, I mean, that's what one of the bad things about my channel is that I'm not doing it for that. I'm not even doing it for the subscribers, you know. Trying to get, like, be like in the most top 100 subscribed channel. You know. But I would like to have some subscribers, at least, because, you know, get it out there as something like an option to watch. That's all I've ever cared about as far as subscriptions go, and likes, and, you know, coupling it all together with views and everything. Otherwise, I wouldn't care. I mean, I literally, the only reason why I'm doing this, you know what, if I had to really break it down now that I really think about it, it's just because I want to get something accomplished where I actually have completed these games that I've already started. And that's another reason why I kind of started over, even though I already had to, because of the game itself crashing a lot. So I had to correct that. That kind of happened anyway, but at least it kind of somewhat navigates the idea, or keeps it from being so corrupted as much as it has been. So that's why I had to start these over. That, and I want to get it under my belt, that it's done. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. I don't care if it's one day a week, couple days a week, but I'm not going to do this on a full schedule anymore. I'm not even sure how I'm going to handle BitChute right now, because right now I've got so much going on up there, and I haven't released a video in a while. And I got like a lot of videos that I've uploaded. over the course of time. Anyway, that's all the time we have for this episode. And I'll see you guys next time. Until then, later.